The Technical Excellence Under Ambiguity answer, that sounds great, but fails the A's appropriate interviewer. Most candidates spend 90% of their answer describing what they built, and almost none of it showing how they surfaced, documented, and got explicit alignment on their assumptions before a single line of code was written. The question is, tell me about a time you solved a hard engineering problem with genuine uncertainty in requirements. Show how you made assumptions explicit, drove to a decision, and delivered. This tests technical excellence under ambiguity, which at Microsoft means demonstrating a repeatable, growth-oriented process for decision-making, not just describing a clever solution. What the interviewer is actually listening for is whether you have a systematic method for surfacing hidden assumptions and driving alignment, or whether you simply got lucky and shipped something that happened to work. Here is how most candidates answer this question about engineering under ambiguity. It sounds confident, structured, and technically credible.
We were building a new data ingestion pipeline, and the product requirements kept changing. The team wasn't sure whether we needed near real-time or batch processing. I did some research, looked at the existing system load, and decided to go with a micro-batch approach using a 15-minute window. I implemented it, we tested it against our SLAs, and latency came in under 2 seconds. The stakeholders were happy with the outcome, and we shipped on time. It ended up being the right call for our scale.
No evidence assumptions were explicitly documented or shared before building. Decision rationale is personal. No stakeholder alignment process described. Uncertainty is framed as resolved by solo research, not a structured mechanism. Result is stated, but no mention of what happens when requirements shift again. Here is exactly what I am writing in the debrief right now. Item 1. Assumptions were never made explicit. Candidate describes solo research, not a shared artifact or documented decision log visible to stakeholders. Item 2. No alignment mechanism described. Unclear how or whether product, PM, or peer engineers confirm the micro-batch framing before implementation began. Item 3. Ambiguity framed as a one-time obstacle overcome, not a structural challenge requiring a repeatable process. Item 4. Growth mindset signal absent. No reflection on what the candidate would do differently or what the situation revealed about their engineering process. Verdict. Does not demonstrate technical excellence under ambiguity. Same question, same ambiguous pipeline situation. Listen to how this candidate makes the process visible instead of just describing the outcome.
The requirements for our data ingestion pipeline were genuinely undefined. Stakeholders disagreed on whether near real-time or batch processing was acceptable. Before writing any code, I drafted a one-page assumptions document. I listed every open question, my proposed default for each, and the business risk if I was wrong. I circulated it to the PM, the downstream team lead, and my manager and asked for explicit sign-off within 48 hours. 2 assumptions were corrected before I started. We shipped with latency under 2 seconds, and when requirements shifted 3 months later, the doc gave us a clean rollback point. I use that assumptions first template on every ambiguous project now.
Assumptions surfaced and documented before implementation. Proactive, systematic. Explicit stakeholder sign-off process named with a concrete time box. Repeatable mechanism. Cross-functional alignment demonstrated, PM, downstream team, manager, all consulted. Growth mindset signal present. Candidate describes adopting the template as a permanent practice. Notice what changed. The technical result is almost identical, but now there is a mechanism, a paper trail, and a growth mindset signal that the first answer never had. Item 1. Assumptions made explicit before coding. One-page document distributed to all relevant stakeholders proactively. Item 2. Concrete alignment mechanism described, 48-hour sign-off window with named cross-functional reviewers. Item 3. 2 assumption corrections before implementation demonstrate the process created real value, not performative process. Item 4. Repeatable system evidenced. Candidate adopted the template permanently, showing growth mindset and engineering maturity. Verdict, strong signal, clear hire. Before your loop, run your story through these 3 questions. Question 1. Can you name a specific artifact that made your assumptions visible to others? If not, your answer describes solo intuition, not a repeatable system for driving alignment. Question 2. Did at least one person outside your team explicitly confirm or correct your assumptions? Without cross-functional validation, the A's appropriate interviewer reads this as individual heroics, not collaborative engineering. Question 3. What did this situation permanently change about how you work? Without a growth mindset signal, Microsoft interviewers cannot distinguish a candidate who learned from one who simply got lucky. If you cannot answer all 3, you are not demonstrating technical excellence under ambiguity. You are describing a problem you happen to solve. How do your real stories score? Get a personalized report scored against the interview rubric Microsoft uses for your role. Visit interview101.com and find out before your loop.